The Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam became one of the deadliest terrorist organizations in modern history, waging a 30-year war that turned a paradise island into a battlefield. Sri Lanka wasn't always synonymous with conflict. This strategically positioned South Asian nation boasted ancient civilizations and stunning landscapes. But between the 1980s and 2009, it became the stage for one of the longest insurgencies ever recorded. The Ltte wasn't just another rebel group. They built a parallel state within a state. They controlled entire territories, collected taxes, operated their own courts, and even maintained naval and air capabilities. Their military sophistication rivaled that of some national armies. What made them particularly dangerous was their innovation in asymmetric warfare. They pioneered suicide bombing tactics that would later be studied and copied by terrorist organizations worldwide. Their global financing network stretched across continents, funding operations through diaspora communities. The conflict claimed over 100,000 lives and displaced millions. Understanding how the Ltte rose to power and how Sri Lanka eventually defeated them in 2009 offers crucial lessons about insurgency, state response, and the true cost of prolonged internal conflict. This wasn't just Sri Lanka's story. It became a textbook case in counter-terrorism strategy. By the early decades following Sri Lanka's independence, Tamil political demands were no longer limited to reform within the existing state. Instead, they evolved gradually into a separatist ideology, shaped by political exclusion, constitutional change, and repeated failures of negotiated compromise. The roots of Tamil separatist sentiment can be traced back to the 1930s, during British colonial rule. The Don O'More Constitution of 1931 introduced universal suffrage, fundamentally altering political representation. Tamil leaders, fearing permanent marginalization under a Sinhala majority electoral system, proposed the 50-50 formula, equal representation for Sinhalese and minorities in the legislature. This demand was rejected, planting early seeds of distrust in majoritarian democracy. Following independence, communal-based political organizations emerged. In the 1940s, G.G. Ponnambalam formed the Ceylon Tamil Congress to articulate Tamil political rights. However, the political landscape shifted decisively in 1956 when Prime Minister S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike came to power on a platform of Sinhala nationalism. The introduction of the Sinhala-only Act made Sinhala the sole official language of the state, triggering widespread Tamil protests and deepening ethnic polarization. Attempts at compromise soon followed. The Bandaranaike-Chelvanayakam Pact of 1957 proposed devolving administrative powers to Tamil-majority regions. Yet intense opposition from Sinhala nationalist forces forced its abrogation, leading to riots and the declaration of a national emergency in 1958. A similar fate befell the Senanayake-Chelvanayakam Pact of 1965, reinforcing Tamil perceptions that negotiated settlements were politically unsustainable. The situation further deteriorated in the 1970s. The 1972 Constitution granted Buddhism a foremost position and removed key minority safeguards. In response, Tamil political unity intensified with the formation of the Tamil United Front. In 1976, the Vadukodai Resolution formally endorsed the creation of an independent Tamil Eelam, marking a decisive ideological shift from autonomy to secession. By the 1977 general elections, the renamed Tamil United Liberation Front openly campaigned on a separatist platform. Winning 18 parliamentary seats, it secured a clear mandate from the Tamil electorate. Tamil grievances articulated at this stage included language discrimination, unequal access to education and employment, underdevelopment of the northern and eastern provinces, state-sponsored colonization, and constitutional failures to protect minority rights. Thus, By the late 1970s, Tamil politics had moved decisively beyond reformist demands. The failure of political solutions, combined with constitutional centralization and ethnic polarization, transformed separatism from a fringe idea into a mainstream political objective, setting the stage for the rise of militant movements. As Tamil political demands intensified during the 1970s, a new and more radical force began to emerge: Tamil militancy. This transformation was driven largely by youth radicalization, political patronage, and deep frustration with what was perceived as the consistent failure of parliamentary politics to address Tamil grievances. The political leadership of the Tamil United Liberation Front played a significant role in mobilizing Tamil youth. Under the initiative of A. Amirthalingam, the Tamil Youth Front was formed to support the TOV's political objectives. Initially conceived as a youth support movement, the organization soon became a catalyst for radicalization. Many young Tamils, increasingly disillusioned with peaceful political engagement, began to view armed struggle as the only viable path forward. Dissatisfaction with the level of political backing and operational freedom provided by the TOLF caused internal fractures within the Tamil Youth Front. These fractures resulted in the emergence of multiple splinter groups, each embracing militancy to varying degrees. Among the earliest were the Tamil Eelam Liberation Organization, known as TELO, and the Tamil New Tigers, or TNT. Other groups soon followed, including the People's Liberation Organization of Tamil Eelam, the Eelam Revolutionary Organization of Students, the Tamil Eelam Liberation Army, and several additional factions that would later either dissolve, merge, or enter the political mainstream. The Tamil New Tigers, under the leadership of Velupillai Prabhakaran, would eventually become the most dominant of these groups. In 1976, the TNT was formally renamed the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, or LTTE. Unlike rival organizations, the LTTE adopted a highly centralized leadership structure and enforced strict discipline. Loyalty to the leader and absolute obedience became defining features of the organization. As militant activity increased, law enforcement responded with arrests and crackdowns, particularly in the Jaffna region. In 1972, police detained 42 Tamil youths in connection with various incidents. Several others, including Prabhakaran, went underground to evade arrest. These actions, rather than suppressing militancy, elevated the militant status among sections of the Tamil population. A pivotal moment occurred in 1975 during the parliamentary election campaign, when Prime Minister Sri Lanka visited Jaffna. Alfred Duraiappa, the mayor of Jaffna, appealed for the release of detained Tamil youths. Following their release, the individuals were welcomed as heroes by segments of the local population. However, on the 26th of June 1975, Velupillai Prabhakaran led the assassination of Duraiappa. This act marked a decisive turning point, signaling the LTTE's willingness to use targeted political violence against Tamil figures seen as collaborating with the state. The assassination was followed by a series of violent incidents that further established the LTTE's militant credentials. These included the killing of a Criminal Investigation Department inspector, Bastian Pillai, and the destruction of an Avro aircraft at Ratmalana Airport. Such attacks demonstrated both operational capability and strategic intent, distinguishing the LTTE from rival groups. By the mid-1980s, multiple Tamil militant organizations remained active, but the balance of power began to shift decisively. In early 1985, groups such as PLOTE, TELO, and the LTTE were considered relatively equal in strength. This equilibrium did not last. On the 7th of May 1986, the LTTE launched operations against TLO. By December 1986, the LTTE demanded that all other militant groups disband. On the 14th of December 1986, the Ltte announced that it would assume administrative control of Jaffna from the 1st of January 1987, declaring itself the sole representative of the Tamil people. Through systematic elimination of rival groups and consolidation of authority, the Ltte emerged as the dominant militant force, transforming Tamil militancy from a fragmented movement into a centralized insurgent organization. By the early 1980s, Tamil militancy had moved beyond isolated acts of violence and entered a decisive phase that would permanently alter Sri Lanka's internal conflict. This transformation was triggered by a single event that would come to be known as Black July. On the 23rd of July 1983, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam carried out a planned ambush in Tirunelveli, targeting a Sri Lankan army convoy. 13 soldiers were killed in the attack. According to the Ltte's own narrative, the ambush was conducted in retaliation for the killing of Eelam, a senior Ltte leader. While militarily limited in scale, the political and social consequences of the attack were profound. The incident sparked widespread violence across the country. Communal riots erupted, particularly targeting Tamil civilians. The violence severely damaged trust between the Tamil minority and the Sinhala majority and marked a decisive rupture in ethnic relations. For many Tamils, Black July became a symbol of state failure to ensure protection and equality. The international impact of these events was immediate. The violence generated adverse global publicity for Sri Lanka, drawing international attention to Tamil grievances. This exposure proved advantageous to separatist groups. The Ltte, in particular, used the situation to gain sympathy abroad, enabling increased recruitment, funding, and political support. Large numbers of Tamils fled Sri Lanka, particularly to Tamil Nadu in India and to other foreign destinations, forming diaspora communities that would later play a crucial role in sustaining the insurgency. At the same time, the regional political environment was undergoing a significant shift. In 1977, J.R. Jayawardeneh assumed leadership in Sri Lanka and introduced policies that were increasingly capitalist and Western-oriented. Although Sri Lanka maintained a non-aligned posture in name, these policy changes were viewed with suspicion by India. The Indian leadership, particularly Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, perceived Sri Lanka's foreign policy realignment as a challenge to Indian regional influence. This perception led India's intelligence agency, the Research and Analysis Wing, to take an active interest in Sri Lanka's internal conflict. Following Black July, RAW initiated covert operations to support Tamil insurgent groups. These efforts included financing, training, and arming militants with the objective of destabilizing Sri Lanka. What had begun as a domestic insurgency now assumed a clear international and regional dimension. By the mid-1980s, multiple Tamil militant organizations existed, and none held undisputed dominance. However, Black July altered the balance. The Ltte used the momentum created by international sympathy and external support to strengthen its military capacity and political standing. The organization gradually eliminated rival groups and positioned itself as the sole representative of Tamil interests. This process culminated in December 1986, when the Ltte formally demanded that all other Tamil militant organizations disband. Shortly thereafter, the Ltte announced that it would assume administrative control of Jaffna from January 1987, declaring itself the legitimate authority governing Tamil areas. Thus, Black July marked more than a moment of communal violence. It transformed the Sri Lankan conflict from an internal security issue into an internationalized insurgency. The Ltte emerged not only as a dominant militant force, but as a political actor with regional and global reach, setting the stage for foreign intervention, prolonged warfare, and one of the most complex conflicts in modern South Asian history.